You know, peace isn't something we find by running away from the noise. It's something we uncover beneath the noise. Because peace isn't outside you, it's buried deep within you, quietly waiting for you to come home. Most of us think peace means a life without problems. But that's not peace, that's fantasy. Real peace means being calm in spite of the problems. It means standing in the middle of a storm, yet feeling the stillness of your breath. Entering the space of clarity. Take a deep breath right now. In and out. Notice that gentle moment between the two breaths, that pause. That's the space where your mind stops talking. That's the space where peace begins. We spend most of our lives chasing clarity from other people, from society, from the next big achievement. But clarity never arrives through noise, it arrives through silence. When the lake is still, it reflects the sky perfectly. When your mind is still, it reflects truth perfectly. Our mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant there, grows. Plant worry, and anxiety blooms. Plant gratitude, and peace blossoms. But here's the problem, most of us don't even realize what seeds we are planting every day. We water fear with overthinking. We feed anger by replaying old stories. We fertilize self-doubt by comparing ourselves to others. And then we wonder, why doesn't it feel? Imagine you're holding a cup of water. Someone bumps into you, and the water spills. Why? Because that's what was inside the cup. Life doesn't make you angry, people don't make you anxious, they only spill what's already inside you. If peace fills your cup, only peace will spill. The illusion of control. One of the greatest reasons we lose peace is because we try to control what was never ours. We try to control outcomes, people, timing, destiny. We hold on so tightly that we don't realize, the tighter we grip, the more we lose. You can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. You can't control how others act, but you can control how you respond. When we stop resisting life, life stops resisting us. Every time you let go of the need to control, you create space for peace to flow in. Think about it, when you clench your fist, nothing new can enter it. When you open your palm, everything can pass through. That's how peace works. It's not something you grab, it's something you allow. Anchoring in the present moment. Most of our suffering doesn't come from what's happening now. It comes from what was or what might be. The past holds guilt. The future holds anxiety. But the present holds peace. Yet we spend so little time here. We are physically in this moment, but mentally miles away. Our body is in the room, but our mind is replaying yesterday's mistakes or worrying about tomorrow's storms. Imagine your life is a movie, and your mind is a critic who never stops talking. What if it fails? What will they think? Why did I say that? And all this noise drowns out the beauty of what's actually happening right now. Peace begins the moment you say to yourself, I'm here. Not in the past. Not in the future. Just here. Close your eyes for a second and feel your breath. Feel the air entering your lungs, nourishing you. Feel it leaving, carrying away what you no longer need. That's life reminding you, everything passes. The pain, the joy, the worry, the laughter, all of it flows through. You just have to stop holding on. Letting go of the unnecessary. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop carrying what was never yours to carry. We hold on to so many things that weigh us down. Old grudges, failed expectations, the need to be right, the desire to be perfect. Ask yourself, what would happen if I simply put them down? What would happen if I stopped trying to fix every broken piece and just accepted the cracks? The Japanese art of kintsugi repairs broken pottery with gold. They don't hide the cracks, they highlight them. Because the cracks tell a story of survival. Maybe your peace isn't hiding behind perfection. Maybe it's hiding inside the cracks you're trying to erase. When we finally stop fighting life, we start healing. And healing always feels like peace. The mirror of awareness. Awareness is like light, it doesn't change what it touches, it simply reveals it. And once something is seen clearly, it starts to lose its power over you. If you can observe your anger instead of becoming it, you are already free from it. If you can watch your fear without judging it, it begins to dissolve. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. Like the sky watching the clouds pass by, untouched, unchanged. This is one of the greatest awakenings on the path to peace. You don't have to stop the storm. You just have to remember, you are not the storm. Repetition for realization. Say this softly to yourself, I am not my thoughts. I am the witness behind them. Say it again, I am not my thoughts. I am the witness behind them. Feel how light that feels? Because when you stop identifying with the noise, peace becomes your natural state. When you stop being the actor lost in the scene, and start being the director watching from behind the camera, you gain clarity. The drama still unfolds, but you're no longer drowning in it. The quiet truth about happiness, we've been taught that happiness comes from addition, add success. Add followers, add recognition, add things. But peace often comes from subtraction. Subtract expectations. Subtract comparisons. Subtract the need to prove. You'll notice something beautiful. When you stop chasing happiness, it quietly comes to sit beside you. Peace doesn't need an audience. It just needs your attention. The practice of acceptance. Acceptance isn't giving up, it's waking up. It's saying, this is where I am. This is what's happening. And I choose to meet it with grace. Imagine a river. It doesn't fight the rocks, it flows around them. That's why it always finds its way. When we resist life, we get stuck. When we accept it, we move forward. Acceptance doesn't mean you like everything that happens, it means you stop fighting reality. Because the more you resist the moment, the more you prolong your pain. Let it come, let it pass, let it teach you. The paradox of control. The more you try to control people, the more they pull away. The more you try to control outcomes, the more they slip through your hands. But when you relax, when you trust the flow, things begin to align on their own. It's not that the universe suddenly changes, you just stop blocking its rhythm. Think about breathing again. You don't force it, you allow it. And yet it sustains your entire life. Peace works the same way. Here's a small story for reflection. This is a story of a monk who lived near a river. Every day, people came to him with their worries, asking how to find peace. One morning, a young man shouted, I've tried everything. Meditation, prayer, silence, nothing works. The monk smiled and said, come to the river tomorrow at sunrise. When the young man came, the monk walked into the water with him and suddenly pushed his head underwater. The man struggled, panicked, gasping for air. Finally, the monk released him and said, what did you want most when you were underwater? The man coughed and shouted, air. The monk said softly, when you want peace as much as you wanted air, you'll find it. Because peace isn't a luxury, it's a priority. And the moment you make it your priority, everything else falls into place. Awareness through ordinary moments. Peace doesn't always appear in meditation or silence. Sometimes it arrives in the most ordinary moments, when you sip your morning tea, when you listen to rain hitting your window, when you look into a child's eyes and see pure presence. Life keeps whispering peace, we just need to slow down enough to hear it. The truth is, the world isn't getting louder, our attention is getting weaker. Every notification, every scroll, every comparison pulls us further from ourselves. And yet, every moment is still inviting us back home. Coming home to yourself. When was the last time you truly sat with yourself? No phone, no distraction, no noise, just you? At first, it feels uncomfortable, even painful. Because silence shows you everything you've been running from. But stay there. Because after the noise fades, what remains is truth. You start to remember who you were before the world told you who you should be. And in that remembering, peace begins to bloom. Detachment is the silent power within. Detachment isn't about not caring. It's about caring deeply, but without losing yourself. Most of us mistake attachment for love. We think, if I love them, I must worry. If I care, I must control. But attachment is like holding sand in your fist. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips away. Detachment, on the other hand, is open-handed love. It says, I love you enough to let you grow. I care enough to not control your path. When we practice detachment, we don't stop feeling, we start feeling freely. We love without fear. We give without expecting. We help without keeping score. The Buddha once said, you only lose what you cling to. And that's the secret. When you stop clinging, you realize you never lost anything real. The mind's trick. Our mind always tries to convince us that control equals safety. If I can predict everything, nothing will hurt me. But the truth is, the more we try to control life, the more anxious we become. Because control is rooted in fear. But peace is rooted in trust. When you begin to trust life, not blindly, but deeply, you start to see meaning in every delay, every detour, every disappointment. You begin to see that sometimes the universe protects you by not giving you what you asked for. Forgiveness is the key that sets you free. Forgiveness is one of the hardest yet most liberating acts of peace. We often think forgiveness means saying what happened was okay. It's not. Forgiveness means saying, I refuse to let what happened poison my peace any longer. Holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. It doesn't hurt them, it hurts you. When you forgive, you reclaim your power. You stop being a prisoner of your past, and you become the author of your future. Sometimes, forgiveness isn't about others at all. Sometimes, it's about forgiving yourself, for not knowing better, for staying too long, for being afraid, for falling apart. Say this softly to yourself right now. I forgive myself for the times I forgot my worth. I forgive myself for the moments I let fear guide me. I forgive myself, because I'm still learning. You'll feel a lightness inside, that's your peace, returning home. Compassion is seeing yourself in others. When you truly understand yourself, you start to understand others. When you see your own wounds clearly, you stop judging others for theirs. Compassion is the bridge between your peace and the world's pain. It's when you realize, everyone you meet is fighting a battle you cannot see. The angry colleague, the rude driver, the distant friend, they're all carrying invisible storms. And sometimes, your calm presence can be the shelter they need. You don't always have to fix others. Sometimes your silence, your listening, your non-judgment, that's the medicine. True compassion begins when you stop seeing others as them and start seeing them as us. Because we all want the same thing, to be seen, to be understood, to be loved, and to be at peace. Living with awareness, awareness transforms everything it touches. It's not about changing your entire life overnight. It's about being awake in small moments. When you eat, eat with awareness, taste every bite. When you walk, walk with awareness, feel the earth beneath your feet. When you speak, speak with awareness. Notice your tone, your words, your intention. Every mindful act is a seed of peace. And when you keep planting them, your life slowly becomes a garden of calm. The test of real peace, it's easy to feel peaceful on a mountain. It's harder to feel peaceful in traffic, during arguments, or while reading bad news. Real peace is tested not in meditation but in the chaos of everyday life. When someone insults you and you choose silence over reaction, that's peace. When something doesn't go your way and you choose trust over frustration, that's peace. When you fail and still choose self-compassion over judgment, that's peace. Peace isn't what you feel when life is perfect. Peace is what you practice when it isn't. The stillness beneath the noise. Imagine standing at the edge of an ocean. The surface is restless, waves rising and falling. But deep beneath, the water is still, silent, untouched. That's your mind. The surface is thought. The depth is awareness. When you stop identifying with the surface waves, opinions, fears, reactions, you begin to sink into your true self. And there, deep within, nothing can disturb you. That's what the sages call the state of unshakable peace. Letting life breathe. We spend so much energy trying to make things happen. We chase, we push, we plan every detail. But peace blooms when you learn to let life breathe. You don't need to force flowers to grow. You nurture the soil, you give them light, and you wait. Life works the same way. When you do your best and then step back with trust, the universe begins to move in your favor. Because peace and patience walk hand in hand. Trust the timing of your life. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be to learn what your soul came here to learn. Gratitude is the quiet magic. Gratitude doesn't change your circumstances, it changes your perspective. It reminds you that peace doesn't come from getting more. It comes from noticing what's already here. Right now, pause and look around you. There's something, even if it's small, to be grateful for. Your breath, the sound of the wind, the fact that you woke up today. Gratitude turns ordinary days into blessings and chaos into clarity. The more you practice gratitude, the more your mind starts looking for beauty instead of problems. And the more beauty you notice, the more peace you create. Repetition for reflection. Let's pause together and repeat this quietly. Peace begins with me. Say it again, slowly. Peace begins with me. Because that's where every change in the world begins, inside one heart that chooses calm over chaos, love over anger, awareness over distraction. You can't pour peace into others until you fill yourself first. The journey of self-acceptance. You've been trying so hard to become something, successful, strong, spiritual, worthy. But maybe peace doesn't come from becoming more. Maybe it comes from accepting what's already here. You don't need to prove your worth. You don't need to earn your peace. You already are enough, simply because you exist. Take a breath and let that truth sink in. You are enough. You always were. The awakening of peace. There comes a moment when you stop chasing and start being. When you stop running and start resting. When you stop seeking peace and realize, you are peace. You are the stillness behind every storm. The silence beneath every word. The light behind every shadow. Every teaching, every meditation, every struggle, all of it has been guiding you back home to yourself. Because peace was never lost. It was only hidden beneath layers of fear, noise, and forgetting. And the moment you remember, even for a few seconds, you awaken. So tonight, before you sleep, place your hand on your heart and whisper, I am at peace. Not because life is perfect, but because I choose to be. Let your breath be your anchor. Let your awareness be your compass. Let compassion be your path. And when you wake up tomorrow, walk gently. Speak kindly. Breathe deeply. Because every peaceful person becomes a lighthouse, silently teaching others that calm is possible, even in chaos. And maybe, just maybe, that's why you're here, to be the reminder that peace isn't found, it's remembered. If you felt even a moment of stillness while watching this, hit the like button, not for me, but as a small promise to yourself, to keep choosing peace. Subscribe to this channel so we can keep walking this path together. And remember, you are not behind in life. You are exactly where peace was waiting to find you.